5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, this is our first episode of Classy, Sassy, and Shade, where we have had a very special guest.
Hello.
Please welcome in Auntie Charles.
Hello, everybody.
Okay.
Or should I say?
Yeah.
I'm all orc. Put some light
Rainbows.
around here.
Put
Put
some
some
rainbows.
rainbows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little stars.
Like some fairy dust.
Yeah.
No unicorns.
No
That's-
unicorns.
Yeah.
That's where you draw the line.
Well, I'm gay, but not quite that gay.
I hear you. I totally get that. Yeah, that's a vibe. That's a vibe.
Okay, so we always start the episode off by reading a prompt. This is out of Once Upon a Prompt. It is, did you know that Jimmy wrote this?
No.
Yeah, he wrote this book. It's on Amazon.
Really?
Yeah, it's a kid's book. It's a kid's prompt book. I mean, this is not a kid's show. Your kid should not be watching this.
If you are a child, please don't watch.
Yeah, please turn off now. This is your warning. He wrote this and put it on Amazon. And so this is what we use to open up the day. Yeah.
Oh.
So I will start with you. You receive a magic pen and everything you write comes true. What do you write down?
Good Lord.
I know.
What a loaded question.
I know.
Wow.
I know.
Write down.
Yeah.
All the things I want in a man.
Oh, and what is that? In detail, please.
Tall,
Yes.
muscular,
Mm-hmm.
preferably black.
Oh my
But
God.
I will
love.
accept other colors and nationalities.
Okay.
Let's see. I used to be very much into smooth-haired men. Now I'm very into hairy men. I don't know what it is.
I do love a good hairy man.
I couldn't stand
Yeah.
it as I was younger, and something hit me at my 50s, and boom, give me all the
Yeah.
hair I can get.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. All the
Uh-huh.
hair.
That's
A
hot.
priority, they must have an amazing back porch. You know, I need an
I'm
ass.
seeing this.
The badonkadonk.
I thought it was
like
something else.
Like-
not the badonky
Were you
donk.
thinking
Yeah.
about boobs, or were you thinking
I was
something
thinking
else?
No.
wiener with the way that you were
Oh,
like
no.
holding.
That-
and, well,
This-
and he said back porch, and I thought you want him to have a good house.
Yeah, it's like,
oh,
this-
I thought. So we're not talking about a back porch.
no, we're talking about an amazing ass.
Oh my. Okay.
Right in the back.
Hello.
A
You were
big,
thinking
nice,
of a house,
big,
too.
chunky
I was
back
thinking of a-
porch.
At first, I thought he was gonna say
know,
penis.
And this is inside to reference of length, you know, the fingers spread apart when they're like cupped up like that.
Yeah.
It's one of two. It's either big balls or
Right.
big boobs.
Yeah. But he wants a big old giant ass.
You like a big
Yeah.
booty on a man.
I like
Okay.
You like 'em
some I
thick.
want something chunky back
Oh,
there.
period.
All right.
I love
Everybody's
Or
that.
got a
one of those
preference.
really nice, well sculpted with the little dents on the sides.
yes.
Oh, yes. Like
Yes.
very, like a David.
My
Yes.
Yeah. Not like the one we work with, but like the one in the statue.
Well, that
like
one
the
would work,
statue
too.
of David.
Dead.
My boyfriend is a cyclist, and so his
Oh man.
like bottom half, like his butt has those dents, and
Oh,
it's like it's not
interesting.
big, but it's like very bubbly. I'm
Yeah.
always like, oh my God.
You know what
Yeah.
I love? is
That's amazing.
you know what I
Yeah,
think looks
yeah.
great on men? The Venus dimples.
Yeah,
Yeah. Those are the like two little dimples on the
Mhm.
top of their back.
yeah.
I think those look great
Yes.
on
I
guys.
have to somehow show you guys Chris's backside.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you don't have a picture?
Send it over so we can
don't.
talk about it
What?
on the next episode.
I know you think I would.
How long have you had this boyfriend for?
2.5 years.
And no
I
pictures
and
of the
no-
rear?
He is so like, stop. Like every time he's like changing in front of me, I'm
Oh,
like,
it's-
oh yeah. And
it's
he's like,
just an act.
stop. It's totally an act.
It is.
He needs to get over it.
Yeah. Let me talk to him.
I'll have him call you.
Send them right over.
I'll like jokingly be like, hey, what are you doing? And if he'll be like, oh, like I'm in a meeting, I'm like, send me a picture of your wiener. He's like, that's foul. Dude, I'm not doing
Does he do that ever?
No, I've never gotten one from him.
Wow.
Never. But we live together, so he's like, you can see it in a few hours. Like he's very much like, you'll see it later. Like
Yeah.
Well, if I had a boyfriend,
you can
I'd
see it in person.
definitely want to have a dick pic on my phone to show.
totally.
so
Because
that way
people
to
are
show.
gonna ask.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yes,
people are gonna ask.
because he's gonna be
100.
like, look what I
This is
have
it, right
at
here.
home. You are never
Yeah.
gonna believe
Yeah.
this is my man, right? And
Yeah.
that's it. You're not gonna get a face.
Do you
pic.
have one of
Yeah.
Jimmy?
No,
Why not?
I think that they aren't very attractive. Like I'm not like aroused by a picture of his wiener.
It's not for arousal purposes. It's for bragging
Reference.
purposes.
Yeah. That's what I got.
It's for
I
blackmail.
have one of these.
She's all
What
for
do you have?
blackmail.
It's
Comparing notes.
I'm all, what does yours look like?
This is mine.
This is mine.
Okay. What do you wish for? Or what do you write down?
I am writing down that I want like a lot of money and I want to travel. And
really?
I do. Well, okay. So I want to get rid of my travel anxiety. I have travel anxiety. Like I don't like going anywhere.
Like to the grocery store?
No, that's fine. I can't get on an airplane. I can, but I don't want to.
What's the fear?
I'm gonna throw up.
They have bags for that.
But like I am afraid of throwing up. I'm afraid of everything. So I have that fear of throwing up. Write that down. I don't want that anymore. And I get car sick, motion sick, seasick, every type of sick you can think of. I get it. And every time I get on an airplane, somebody near me throws up, and I'm afraid of that. So then I feel like I'm gonna throw up for the remainder. So like I don't go anywhere.
I think that's common. If I'm sitting near somebody and I hear it, see it, or smell it, I'm coming up.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a very strong stomach.
I don't.
Even if I need to throw up to feel better, I just don't. I'm like you, but I think I've trained my body to just hold it in, even at my own detriment. Even if it means I'm going to be sick for an extra 2 days.
I've always wanted to have like a special power to throw up on command.
Just to get it out, just to get it over with.
So we talked about festivals and like how to get people to be like away from you. That would be another good trick.
Just to barf.
Literally. Nobody's coming and standing next to you.
That's fair.
Like, that's it.
That's fair. And then you just stand by your own vomit the rest of the night.
Yeah.
So it's like... It's like, no, this is mine. Thank you. And then while you're at it, barf on your man. Barf on your man at the same time. Yeah, I'm like, and this guy. You can't touch him either.
Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't wish for never to shit again.
I have IBS. But here's the thing.
Isn't that the IBS? Doesn't that block you up?
So it can do both ways. And here's the thing. I have both of them. Diagnosed. Both of them.
Which do you prefer?
I prefer going because if I'm not, then I'm like 8 months pregnant at all times. So I think I would like I just literally want my stomach issues to disappear. Get rid of them.
You got a lot of things to fix.
I know.
Girl, I am literally a wreck. Like I am seriously, if I wrote down the list of things that are wrong with me, you would laugh.
And thank you for calling me girl.
Yeah, period.
The other day I was at work and there's all girls in the unit.
Yeah.
I'm there just kind of as a guest. And the normal guy who's in the unit was out for the day. And the manager came around. She's like, oh, thank God Charles is here. He'll provide the testosterone. I stood up and said, did you ever say that to me again? That is not my role.
You're adopted into that little unit for now, temporarily, right? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
What would you wish for?
Oh my God.
Or write down.
Let's if I'm gonna assume that I get to write down and then once the pen goes down, like it vanishes. I think that there needs to be some kind of limitation, right? I think that I'm gonna write down that I have the ability to stop time. Like that I can literally make time stand still because I think that is the most valuable thing that we have. Like more than money, more than anything else.
You're getting
is
deep
time.
With it.
So I think I would just be like the ability. That would be it. The ability to control time.
That's good.
And then I would
that
just
is good.
Down.
That's very beautiful, Colleen.
That's good.
He's all, I want a hot man, a hot black man. And I'm like, I don't want to poop anymore. I want normal pooping schedule. And you're like, I just want to stop time.
I just want world peace. Oh my God. 100%.
Yeah, it's probably a good thing that she's on that side.
Okay, so today our theme this month is LGBTQ month, right?
The Pride
month. Yes. And that is essentially why we have Auntie Charles.
Hi.
So to give a little bit of backstory, Charles and I work together. I don't tell people where I work.
Okay.
You probably shouldn't either.
Yeah, I'm not going to.
Okay.
Wasn't planning on it.
We work in a building. We work in an office building, but Charles and I work together. We started at the same time back in 2018-ish.
19?
Yeah.
Oh, late 18?
No, yeah. 18. And we ended up sitting right next to each other. And in the position we were at the time, we were taking phone calls, like a customer service reps.
Like a receptionist situation?
Better.
More like a call center. More like a call center. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to identify yourself with like some numbers in your name and stuff. And he would always, You only have to say your last name. So I'd be like, I'm Mrs. Hawthorne, right?
Mhm.
Jimmy would be like, Mr. Gustafson. And he would be like, thank you for calling da-da-da-da-da. You didn't do it. I can't
Look
do
at
it.
Puggy is snoring.
Yeah,
by the
can you
way.
hear her?
Yeah.
Through the mic?
Yeah.
This is Charles Christopher Crank. How can I help you today? That's what it was.
Oh, that's such a slay. Your last name is Crank.
Yes.
Period.
Yeah. So it was me here, Jimmy there, and Charles, you were here, right?
Yeah, it was Jimmy and I next to each other,
Yeah.
and like you would be her over on the other side.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. I
What
mean,
a
from your
trifecta.
perspective. From my perspective, it was Jimmy and I next to each other, and you were over there on the other side. And he was constantly trying to steal my man.
I was.
I get it.
Well,
Jimmy
I
is
used to
like
see
such
them
a cutie
When we
patootie.
first met, I saw this group of people always walking along, laughing, having a good time, joking around. And I thought, God, I need to get in that group.
Yeah.
Because there was this big kind of like hunky man I wanted.
Oh, okay.
I still do.
Mm-hmm. Where is he?
I don't know. I think he still works there, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen him.
Are we talking about the one that was diagonal to me?
No, we're talking about big beefy guy.
The big beefy guy
I
that
think his name was
you can say it, we can
Yeah,
believe
we'll-
it.
Jeff.
Oh, I don't know if he still works there.
So, but then I saw this littler guy,
Mhm.
Jimmy. And I was like, God, I said, he's kind of cute too. And I just couldn't figure it out. I'm like,
Mhm.
breeder, non-breeder? I just
Right.
couldn't really tell which
Right.
one.
Which one is he? Yeah.
And then it seems like wherever I would be sitting, like when we'd be having a group, I would always be near them.
Yeah.
Like I tried to get into that conversation. It didn't happen. And then we got resituated into our units for the first year. And
There they were.
lo and behold,
Yeah.
Uh-huh, that's so cute.
they were
Yeah.
there.
That
Yeah.
is so cute.
I told a story on one of the episodes about like I had like a really traumatic experience at work. It was the only time I cried at work.
Mm-hmm.
And I told you that one of my friends came around and like helped me through like the situation. And this was the friend.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
really cute.
Do you even know what I'm talking about?
I don't recall that.
No, I had that call, that lady that was diabetic and needed the information from us. And if we didn't get it to her, she was going to get cut off. And she said, I will go into a diabetic coma and I cannot afford my medication. And
I
I
do
had to
recall
make like a referral type thing, to get it processed more quickly or to have whatever the situation was to have it escalated. But what was currently going on with her situation, I didn't think that was even possible to escalate.
Yeah.
I based on the path, it almost looked like we lost her information.
Oh, that's horrible.
And and my niece is diabetic
Mhm.
and I just am like sitting there and I just like have tears like running down my face and he pops up and he's like, you're awfully quiet over there.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, okay, what do you need? What do you need? And I'm
Yeah.
like, I need, how do I say this? How do I do this? I don't know what I'm doing. And he's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's okay.
Well,
it's okay.
and when you're like under such a big amount of pressure in that point, I feel like your brain just kind of goes blank. Like you forget even how to do anything.
And like,
That's
it's
how
like,
I function,
it's like
at
when
least.
you see,
Like when I can't poop.
Exactly. I try to will it into existence and it
then you just
doesn't
wanna
work.
be like, "Rah!" yes,
Yeah.
that was 100%. So if you had to introduce yourself to new people at a party, how would you introduce yourself?
Oh, well, I'm Charles the Super Faggot.
With the super in the front. Like, what do you mean by that?
Well, probably 25 years ago,
Mhm.
I had a friend who, well, I still do. They have a global international gemstone business.
Fun. Okay.
And I was a good friend. And she asked me if I had some free time to go in and kind of just be an office boy and clean
Mhm.
up and pick up and organize. And I said, sure, I'd love to. It wasn't anything stressful. So I
Mhm.
got in there and I started organizing stuff. And she asked me, can you help me with some of the accounting? And I'm like, yeah, I have a little bit of a background with that. I can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
And when I finished after the first week and I showed her the files and I showed her the cabinets and I showed her how I rearranged everything and labeled everything, she's like, oh my God, Carlito. She was from Brazil, so she talked like this.
Oh, that's hot.
And she told me, Carlito,
Love
she's
it.
like,
Yep.
you're the super faggot. Or as in Portuguese, the bichono loca, the crazy fag. So, either way.
So that's where that came from.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
fantastic.
And-
Iconic.
Yeah.
And people, when I meet them for the first time, and they say, hey, well, get your number. And I'll say, what's your name? And they'll say, well, it's Charles. God, I have another Charles. Just put it under super faggot.
That's
You'll
fantastic.
always know where to find it.
That is fantastic.
It's my favorite.
I
And
gotta
you just,
preface it with like, this is
accepted it.
like the one word I was like, you can't say. And then Jess was like, no, say it.
He gets
say
a pass.
it.
He's totally allowed to say that. I think we're
Well, I'm not
okay with it.
offended by it.
What,
Right.
what is like the one thing that people like look at you and assume that's like wrong?
That I'm 100% gay.
Okay.
Oh, period. I don't remember that.
I have been a breeder.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are attracted
That's-
to women.
I do.
Okay.
I know. I like a good personality.
Yeah.
I like big boobs.
Yes. Everyone
Um,
loves a good big boob.
I had my first experience. I was
Mhm.
22 years old. I picked her up at a gay bar.
Mhm.
Went home, had a very interesting experience.
Yeah. Can you talk about that or?
Well,
Yeah. Excuse me. I haven't heard this story.
well, I took her home. We were had a hot tub at my parents' house, and we're making out. We go downstairs. We have sex, and I had never seen a naked woman other than pictures. And
Yeah.
here she is in real life, and she had taken the lawnmower downstairs.
Okay.
So I had, we had sex, and
she had not taken a look.
No, she
Oh,
did.
she had. Okay.
Yeah.
Pictures back then didn't have the lawnmower downstairs. They were all natural.
Oh, that's fair.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, after
So it
a
was
few
all naked.
hours of sex, it wasn't until the next
A few
day
hours, you dirty dog.
I'm
impressed.
I was raw. I couldn't touch
it like
myself.
hurt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'll never do that again.
And you
So-
thought that it was because she was a woman.
Well,
A couple hours is a lot of friction.
I didn't know. Yeah, a little stubble. Imagine I don't want to rub my face.
No, I
and
totally
have
see what
stubble.
you're
Yeah.
saying. Like,
Yeah.
so after, like at a certain point, it like kind of hurts a
Yeah.
little. Like,
You don't know it though when you've
Right.
had half a dozen kamikazes and whatever else I was
Totally.
drinking back in.
but you enjoyed
back
it.
then. Yeah. I love it.
Would you consider yourself more on like the pan scale, bi scale?
Well, I look at it this way. If you say you're bi, I think you're just trying to cover up the fact that you're a fag.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
Here,
So,
I'm calling me out.
She's on
So-
my heart. She's all
I just learned something about myself right now.
So, in this room, we have a
take.
gay, a straight, and a lesbian that just came out of the closet.
Here I am, guys.
No, so
Chris,
it's,
you better go to Christina.
I enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
I was engaged for a while, and that one didn't work out. I actually ended up getting married.
Okay,
and
to
I
a woman?
Yes.
Okay.
I love being with women.
Yeah.
And I think that is because I understand them in a context in a
Totally.
way that most straight men cannot
Totally.
or don't
Mhm.
want to.
Or they don't take the time to.
Thing that
Yeah.
falters for me is that after the first year and a half, I'm not as interested in the sex because the mental and relationship and the physicality of everything we do together is more important to me.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
like takes over.
Yeah.
But for the girl, she feels rejected in some cases because I'm
Yeah.
not poking her all the time.
Right. Well, because we have been taught, like as a society, that if a man is not constantly after you, he's cheating on you, or he's not into
Yeah,
you, or
he's
he's
not
watching a bunch of
interested.
porn, or
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Part of the other thing was, I'm not sure I'll be delicate with this, is that my favorite time of sex was,
the before.
the week of. That was like the hot thing for me.
Oh, okay. So that was his kink.
Yeah.
That is so
yeah,
cool.
Shark Week.
You know what?
Yeah.
I have to say, I love that. I like it during that time too.
Well, okay. First of all, women are more sensitive.
Yep.
Women are also more. There's more like pheromones. Like there's
Yeah.
more. You're driving more, right? There's more desire there
Yeah.
for a female. So I could see how it's definitely. I feel like it's definitely more interesting for men during Shark Week.
I
But
could
a lot
see
of men
it
I
too.
don't think like
Yeah.
that.
No, a
When
lot
I,
of.
when I
it's-
tell my
yeah.
straight friends about it, they're like, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
I had a man literally one time like push me off of him because I had started like on him, and he was like, ugh, and I was like, you and I are not gonna work out, and this isn't gonna work. Like I can't with that.
You're all,
Besides
you know,
the
this
fact
happens
that you're a
like.
lesbian.
How old were you when you got married?
I was probably 20. I was 28 for that one. About 35,
Okay.
maybe a little bit less, maybe 34, 35.
So were you still gay in your 20s? Like out gay?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
like your wife was like fully aware that you were
Yes.
like, oh, okay,
Yes.
okay.
She was bisexual as well.
Okay. And how is that like in what year was it in your 20s?
See, that would have been 92. So probably mid 90s, a little before, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
But my only being with somebody who's bisexual, at that time, I never want to try to change somebody who they are.
Yeah.
If you feel they need to be with another woman, that's fine. I just want to hear it from you and not from somebody else.
Totally.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where
There's
I
like a
draw the
respect
line.
thing there. Yeah.
So you wouldn't mind if she went and slept with another woman.
Right. As long as
But you want to know about it.
I want to be told first.
Did she feel the same way about you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was, as she called it, she was willing to give me sexual carte blanche.
Oh, okay.
Carte blanche.
See, I'm a psycho. I'm so crazy. I'm like,
There's no sharing.
there's zero.
We were Jimmy and I were just talking about poly relationships. And I was like, I have had a lot of experience with people around me that are poly, and I've never heard like good stories. Like it's always I'm hearing about their poly because there's drama, and I'm like, wait, aren't you in a relationship? And they're like, oh yeah, but we're poly,
Or like we're
I, like,
open or
yeah,
whatever,
or we're open, or like whatever the case is. But it's never like, oh, I met this guy, like all these great things. And then I'm like, oh, wait, aren't you in a relationship? And they're like, oh, yeah, but we're poly or we're open or whatever. So, I mean, I'm sure that there are good stories out there. But,
I'm sure. But I think a lot of the times that's utilized as convenience as an open door when it really doesn't mean anything. Like when I first got engaged, the one I didn't marry, and she said she didn't want to change me. I could go out and be with a man if I needed to. Well, the moment I did that, the first time we had a big fight after like 2 years of being engaged, she came unglued.
Yeah.
It got brought up.
She came unglued when she found out that I went out. I'm like, I'm sorry, hold on.
Like I thought we had this agreement.
Reach in my pocket. And I said, you see this? When I have this engagement ring in my fingers, if you thought we downgraded from fiance back to boyfriend and girlfriend, you're mistaken.
Yeah.
We're broke up.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Call your mother and your fat sister and get the fuck out of my house.
I love that.
Period.
I know. I know because I do hair, and so a lot of my clients, I they trauma dump on me as they should, and there's a slew of them that are in open relationships, and
it's very popular now.
It is, and I've sensed in a few of them at least that this started because their man wasn't leaving other women alone. So it was very
So it's
much
like a way of keeping them.
It's like a way for them to like cheat while having the permission from their girlfriend. Like it's fine, we're open anyway. But most of the girls aren't doing it.
And then are the guys in those situations when you're hearing about it, are the guys telling the girls you can or you can't, only I can?
No, they're claiming it's fine. Like everybody's open and it's fine.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that the girls are more on the like sensitive side of that. Like I don't really want to, like I'm in this relationship, but like he was talking to all these girls anyway. So I just said, you know what? Fine. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm also divorced. My ex-husband was cheating on me. He had like 87 girlfriends. This dude was like slinging dick left and right. And
not bringing home any money for it.
Where is he now?
Yo, what's his number? No, literally, like he could not put it away.
She's all, oh, he's not the right size for you.
Right color though?
No. Not like white.
Just tell me when.
But like, I remembered being like, when I had a feeling that this was happening, I didn't have the hard proof, but I had like a feeling, right? I was like, how would you feel if I was like talking to a bunch of guys? And he was like, well, I trust you. I don't care. And I was like, oh, okay. Because we went out to a bar like a week before this and a guy put his hand on my back and my ex tossed him. We literally got escorted out of the bar, literally tossed this fool out of the bar, was like, that's my wife, da 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 da, like this whole thing. And so I was like, it's just kind of interesting. Like it's not equal here. You know what I mean? Like I knew he was going out and talking to a bunch of girls. I didn't have the hard proof, but I just knew it. But if I were to go do that, then it's cheating.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a lot of manipulation. If I'm speaking from the man side, when they'll say like, "Oh yeah, I'll let's go out. If you want to be with another guy, I'm fine with that."
Yeah,
they're only saying that so they can have you.
Yes.
But the moment that violation comes in, all the rules are changed.
You're cheating. Yeah, you're cheating.
Yeah. I think that I always, and not necessarily just men, I think that both parties, I've seen this in women also, will say that, but only one person, or the person I would say that utilizes that rule, that escape very often, they're also the person that gets upset when this person starts to come out.
Yeah.
And starts to mingle. I have experienced that, like either in my friends or in my family or in people that I know, old roommates, whatever, is whoever is like regularly tapping out. As soon as this person's like, okay, like now I'm starting to get comfortable and I'll start like, experimenting, then they're like, oh no, we can't be open anymore.
Yeah.
We're not open anymore.
I do feel like a discussion is not like discussioned enough. Like there's not like a firm, like, these are what the boundaries are for both of us. And that's it. Like, like how you were saying you guys had agreed, like, these are the boundaries.
Yeah.
But then she turned around and was like, well, actually, da-da-da-da-da. And you're like, but we didn't.
Well, you can sit down and have a conversation and discuss, we're going to do A, B, and C, but I'll guarantee you somebody's hearing A, B, and D.
Right.
Yeah.
They're shifting that for their convenience.
Yeah.
They're hearing what they want to hear. Or they're hearing what you're saying, and then they're not asking questions because they know that they won't get the answer that they want. And so they kind of skirt the problem or they skirt the topic because they don't want to get called out.
And you're never going to get 100% answers. So that just opens the door like, well, he didn't say this or she didn't say that. So I guess it's okay.
Yeah. Would you ever get married again?
No.
Why not?
I'm better suited for men. I think because with women, I mean, I love kids.
Yeah.
I get along great with women. I just think I don't have enough of testosterone or masculinity to provide them what they would expect from a normal guy they may date. I'm going to fall
Would you marry a man again?
I don't see, that's a really weird question. See, because I don't ever see myself marrying a man. I can't wrap my mind around that. But
would you have a life partner?
I'm not done talking.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
I am so sorry. We are so used to talking over each other.
I'm so dead. Okay,
I just don't see myself doing that. Man, I'm not going to cross it off the list because I don't know. I mean, a lot of crazy things have happened. So I could meet somebody and I could totally change my mind. I don't see it happening. Yeah, but I'm open to it.
Yeah, okay, what was your question?
If you would have
Did you want to go ahead and talk now?
No. Like a life partner situation, like a move-in, live-in partner. Does that sound?
I would love that because in male relationship, there's a Batman and a Robin.
Okay.
I'm a Robin. I want to cook. I want to clean.
Yeah.
I want to do the shopping.
Yeah.
I want to keep the house nice. I want to massage your back. I want to provide that warm family environment. That's what I'm geared to. But the man has to be an alpha. I want somebody who's thoughtful and kind, somebody who's caring, but I also want somebody who can step up to the plate and knock the shit out of somebody if he has to.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then take me home.
A defender.
Totally.
Yeah. And then
take me home.
So you can swoon.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't do a lot of partying anymore, right?
No.
Yeah. But can you tell me why gay parties with gay people are so much cooler than straight parties? Because you met your wife, you said, at a gay bar.
Yeah. Nudity.
You think that's why?
Oh, I think so.
Because gay bars, it's like acceptable to be like wilding out.
Right. And I think people expect something to happen. Almost all my best friends and close friends have all been of the straight variety. And I've been to a lot of great parties, but when I compare those to gay parties, gay men aren't afraid to whip it out.
You're right.
And they're not afraid to take their clothes off.
That's so true. I've never thought about that.
At a straight party, it can happen, but it's only be the guys who are well hung.
Well, it's almost
And the
offensive
other-
when they do.
Yes, you never know who's around that's going to be like, excuse you, I have a boyfriend or I have a girlfriend here. They don't want to see that.
Oh, they want to see it, but they play that card.
Yes, but you walk into a gay bar and it's all hands on deck,
That's
right?
true, yeah.
All hands on deck. Yeah, it's like anything could happen, and if some guy's like swinging it around, like your boyfriend can't be mad about it because you're at a gay bar and it's acceptable here.
That's right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like at like gay clubs, gay bars, Jimmy and I went to Spain and were walking around and found a gay bar, and we spent like, you're over here giggling. I want to know what you're thinking right now.
Because I can only imagine what it's like in Spain. I love going to any kind of Latino bar of any nature.
Yeah, it was like a gay bar. There was lots of lights, but everybody like loves to love.
Yeah.
Like I always say, I love love.
Yeah.
And people are just at a gay bar. People are just like happy. They're, I get the most compliments at a gay bar.
Very accepting.
Yes.
And
Very
welcoming.
There's no pretense. There's no judgment. We're all here to have a good time and drink and dance and play around. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you go into a straight bar, typically there's going to be competition. Somebody's going to be cock walking around and I'm bigger, I'm stronger, and you're looking at my girl and let's watch some football and pussy and sweat. Hey.
I like football and I have a pussy and I don't
I
sweat.
can't relate.
I can't either.
I can't.
The only thing I like to watch is basketball, and because they have the least amount of clothes on.
What about baseball though? Baseball pants?
Oh, those are nice.
They are, right?
And football pants.
Guys.
But football's so boring to me. I can't.
What?
I can't.
love football. Football, hockey.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Like field hockey or like ice hockey?
Like ice hockey.
That's really random.
Those guys are butch. I don't care. You could have a head like a sack full of hammers, but if you're...
Okay, wait, what about UFC?
Oh,
they have all their clothes off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That was my thing back in late 90s, early 2000s. Yeah, I used to wait for all my roommates to be gone so I could watch that
I'm
show.
so
I used to wait for them so I could watch it. Did you watch it naked?
I'll just about.
Did you say that you were at a gay club recently?
Over the weekend.
Where did you go?
Where my boyfriend works. He's an attorney and they have summer interns. And so it's our job to take them out and try to convince them that Fresno is like the place to be. It's really funny. And so I'm like, we have to go to Tower. And since it's Pride Month, I'm like, it's so fun over there. Like, I'm like, we have to go there. So we go. Well, we end up at Splash, the gay bar.
There was 2 down there for a while, wasn't there?
There's 3 that I know of, but not Splash, I'm sorry.
Is it Fab?
Fab is resting in peace.
Oh, okay.
So there's Splash and there's one called Vibes.
Is that the newest one?
I've never been there. So I don't know, like, I'm sure it looks fun from the outside, but Splash is like where I'm comfy. So I always go to the same places. I don't stray very far.
Right. No traveling.
Yeah, no traveling. And so we went to Splash and someone accidentally spilled their drink on me. So I just went to the bathroom to go, wash off or whatever. And this girl's next to me and Orky, cut this word out if I'm not allowed to use it. I don't know. I don't know if that's where it's too
whatever.
long. Yeah. But I'm washing my hands and this cutie girl next to me is like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh no, like what? I'm like, what's going on? And she's like, your hair is so cunt. And I'm like, what? But she was like, oh my God.
You're at the sink.
Literally like washing my hands at the sink. And she's next to me.
Okay.
And she's so cute. Like she's dressed super cute. And I'm like, and so I asked her, I'm like, oh, like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I've never heard that. Like,
are we about to fight right now?
Literally, and also like, so my hair has been black for 12 years. So I'm in the process of I want to go blonde. So I have to go through the funky phase, right? Which is like orange and things like that.
It's okay because you're a lesbian.
It works for me, Right. And so this is not like my favorite my hair has ever been, but I understand it's a process, So I'm like, I can't so I'm a little self-conscious about it at the moment, but this girl is like, no, like it's so cute on you. Like I love it. And I'm like, oh, thank you. And then a little
She's all slay.
I know. I was all, oop. And then a little bit later, I'm walking out. And another girl was
walking out of the bar, out of the bathroom,
out of the bar. Sorry,
Oh, okay.
I was walking out of the bar.
The big bathroom.
Right?
We hung out for a while.
I know.
We got drinks.
She's my little bestie for the rest of the night. But I was walking out of the bar, and another girl, just in passing, she's all, "It's giving cunt. It's giving cunt." Like was giving me the hand gesture, and I was like,
Did you guys all know that I'm totally giving cunt? It kind of sounds like
I
sounds
can't
a
even
little
say
lesbian.
that word.
It sounds okay.
It is not a good one. It's not a good one.
It. I don't hate it. It doesn't bother
I
me.
don't like the word pussy in comparison. Like, I'm not a big pussy fan. The word.
I don't like that word either.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan. I don't use it. I think it's because I'm uncomfortable saying it. You guys were all talking about like how you talk to like your kids and stuff, and like I said vagina. I totally did.
Oh, like what the words like growing up, like what your parents said to you or whatever.
with the hard A.
It as a tootie.
I don't
interesting.
even know if we had if my family. I don't even remember. I think it was just vagina too. I don't think it had like a
like a cutesy
like
little,
a cute little word. Yeah, I don't.
Tootie.
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 I would think of
Tootie's
your
cute.
butt though.
Yeah.
Tootie. Cutie patootie.
Like
that's what I think of it. And I'm like, I'm calling you.
Well, like my client calls hers
cute
her
coochie?
cha-cha. I thought cha-cha was
Cha-cha's
cute.
good.
I thought cha-cha
good.
was
I've heard
super
that.
cute. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think in my family we had like a...
Yeah, the C word, when I say it, it sounds very derogatory. Usually because it has been.
Right. Well, that's why I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't
know.
know.
It's,
Like,
it's not. When it comes out of his mouth, it's probably not a
I don't favor the gay
compliment.
bars much
You don't
anymore.
favorite? Oh.
No, not much anymore.
Mhm.
I mean, I can still go to those. I mean, I can go out and party. I just don't vibe anymore. But I would like to go out just to hear somebody say that to somebody else.
Yeah.
So he could be like, ooh.
I know.
See what happens?
I know.
Do you have a crazy, I would love to hear a crazy gay bar story. I know you got one.
Okay. Well, I was probably 22, maybe 23. Me and my best friend Jay were out at the bar every Friday and Saturday night, drinking and drinking and drinking. And there was this older guy. He probably had to be 60. Very funny, very smart, dirty, minded. Not like filth.
Okay,
I mean,
that's
not like filthy,
like he smells.
no, not like bad, smelly type, but just very dirty minded.
Mhm.
And his thing, well, the first experience we had with him is Jay and I were really drunk, and I was like, we got to go to the bathroom. And he's like, hey, wait, let's go outside. We're like, why? He's like, I want you to pee on my head. And he had this bald head. So we went out to the side of the gay bar. And this is in Monterey, for those of you who are listening. And the two of us, double pissed on the top of his head. I mean, he was soaking wet. So a couple weeks.
What?
Yes. So this is the best. It gets better.
Oh
So a couple weeks go by. Here we are again.
Pink eye.
And we're at the
He's got a
bar,
bacteria
and Jay and I are standing next to each other, and here he comes up between us. He's like, hey, how are you guys doing? We're like, hey, what's up? And we're just talking, and he's like, hey, guys been drinking a lot? We're like, yeah. He's like, do you have to go?
Oh
Like,
my God.
So we're standing side by side. He's in the middle, mind you. I pull mine out and stick it in the right pocket. Jay sticks his in the left pocket, and we piss in his pockets right there standing at the bar.
Shut
He
up.
was soaking wet. Of course, he turned around and ran right out of the bar. Now, the funny thing is
There's more.
I reached out to my friend who I'm still in connection with after all these, 40 years. And I said, do you remember the time we were at the bar and I told him the story about peeing in the guy's pockets? And he's like, oh my God, I can't believe you brought that up. I was just telling my husband about that story. I'm like, oh my God. I said,
That is
do you
Jimmy's
remember
favorite.
his name? And he remembered his name. I couldn't believe it.
So
That's
it made a big
hilarious.
impression on the both of you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't think you could forget something like that.
I'd only done that twice, and both times was with Jay, and it was
Those two
amazing.
times.
Yeah.
Peeing on somebody.
Golden shower.
Same
No.
guy, too.
Same guy.
Yeah.
Came back for more.
One inside the building, one outside.
Wow.
Was it at the same bar?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So
Although,
he was looking for him.
A few months later, I just thought of something else. I'm also going to add this on.
Okay, go ahead.
this guy was kind of a car collector. He didn't really do much with them, but he collected them. So he had invited me out to his house because I was looking for like an older Cadillac or a Lincoln. So he kicks me out to his house. We're walking around. I'm like, wow, you got a lot of crazy shit in here. And he has this massive, like 6 foot by 8 foot coffee table. And it's got probably like an 1.5 inch piece of glass on the top. And he says, I want you to do something for me. I'm like, okay, what do you want me to do? I'm pretty much down to try anything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this I didn't do because I just couldn't bring myself. He wanted to crawl underneath and face up, looking through the coffee table while I sat on the top of the coffee table and took a dump.
Oh my God.
I couldn't do it.
Nuts.
I couldn't do it.
I don't think I could do it. You could probably do that.
I couldn't do
I
it.
don't think I could. I think that would be where I drew the line.
I couldn't do it. He's like, oh, come on, Charles. I said, no. I said, I'm sorry. I just can't do that. I'm sorry. I just couldn't.
I don't think that I could do that either. That is wild. That is wild.
Oh
my God. Oh wow.
That takes the cake.
Yeah. I definitely don't have one that tops that.
Welcome to Pride Month.
Yeah. Love. This is why. See, anything could happen in a gay bar.
Yeah.
In a straight bar, somebody is noticing that people are peeing in this guy's pocket.
Totally.
In a gay bar, if people notice, they're just like, oh, anyways.
That's cute.
Wow. Lucky for him. Lucky him. Yeah, that's what's happening. That is what's happening in a gay bar.
Can I ask you some personal questions?
Of course you can. Just be prepared.
Okay.
This is a fact.
Can I ask when you came out?
I was 18. Everybody else knew I was gay before I did.
Okay.
You know, I had girlfriends in high school and made out and, boobies, but that was about the extent of it.
Yeah.
And then right after high school, I had a girlfriend and a friend of my parents hooked me up with a friend of theirs who lived in San Francisco.
Okay.
He used to work for BART and he was an engineer and took me to his house, showed me his house, beautiful. And that was my first experience was with this older gentleman. He was 44. I was 18. So next day I see my girlfriend. I said, you're ever going to guess what happened? I said, I think I'm gay. And she was like, thank God. I didn't think you'd ever figure it out. I'm like, you knew all this time. She's like, Charles, I love you. I'm happy for you. I was willing to just be with you because I was treated right.
Yeah.
You know, and all my friends are like,
that's so
have
cute.
you been with her? Have you had sex with her? I'm like, no. I said, she'll tell me when she's ready.
Oh my God.
Well, then I realized she probably wasn't going to ever be ready because she was waiting for me to come out of the closet.
Yeah. Did you have the support that you needed in that time when you did come out?
Yes, that was 1981, 82. It wasn't as, I never felt a lot of anxiety or animosity from anybody.
Yeah.
I was very blessed. I live in a small town, Carmel.
Okay.
So it was a very small community. Everybody knew everybody else. Couple of gay bars. But it was a good time for me. I didn't have any kind of
negative experiences. Yeah. Family was supportive.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody knew already.
Well, my parents at first weren't because they found out through a friend of theirs who asked my dad one day. My parents owned restaurants in Carmel. And one of the guys said, hey, Kenny, what's it like to have a son for a fag?
Oh, my God.
And my dad says, well, I don't know if he is or he isn't, but don't call him that.
Yeah.
So here it is like 24 hours later. My parents are getting up to go to the restaurant as I'm coming in, like 4 a.m. My mom and dad stopped me and said, hey, we want to talk to you. And so what's up? And my dad repeated what he said. And I said, well, yeah, it's true. He's like, you mean you like boys more than you like girls? I said, yeah. He's like, well, that's funny. He's like, nobody else is like that way. I said, well, somebody has to be first.
Yeah.
And period. And that is me.
And
congratulations.
I had just lost my sister a couple years before that. So my mother's in the bedroom and she's like, oh my God. She's like, I don't know what to do. She's like, I've lost my mother. I've lost my daughter. And she's like, and now my son's gay. And I said, hey, hold on just a minute.
Yeah.
It's not like I have some terminal disease and I'm going to die. Who I sleep with is none of your business. And by the way, if you're going to read my mail, mother, put it back where you find it.
Yeah.
And I had a gay uncle. They had no problem with.
Yeah.
My parents had lots of gay friends and they had no problem with it. It took about 1.5 years for them to get really comfortable. Then after that, they were going to the gay bar with me a couple times a year.
Yeah. Oh, good.
That's actually a very happy story.
Yeah.
You hear a lot.
Super blessed.
Yeah. You hear a lot of not that.
Well, I have there's 3 biological kids, but I tell people there's, 6 of us because I had friends whose families shunned them and my parents took them in.
Oh,
gave them a place to live, gave them a job, loved them, treated them, actually sometimes treated them better than me.
Yeah.
And,
that's how it goes.
And it was amazing.
Yeah.
I'm super blessed. I had amazing parents and amazing youth and everything. So
what do you think of the gay culture now in comparison to the gay culture when you were 18, 20 years old?
Well, I like the fact that it's so more open.
Right.
Not that it wasn't back then, but it was very just in that community. Now it's very broad. So I appreciate that people who are younger, minors and turning 18 and older have the ability to be who they want and be themselves. I think the only criticism they come under is what they get from their family and friends. Yeah. So I'm happy for that. I don't understand a lot of it sometimes, everybody gets to do what they want. I'm a little puzzled by the pronouns. I still don't understand that.
Yeah.
I like fag and lesbian.
I love how he points at me when he says that. Lesbian,
The only one in the room.
It is what it is.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think that, like, for example, so my uncle, he's passed away, but he was gay. And my grandparents were very supportive of that, but I was raised very religiously. And I think that, obviously that is so taboo in most churches. I'm not going to say all of them, but in most churches, it's very like, don't say gay type of stuff like that. Did you ever have were you in that world at all?
No. I went to church a lot as a child and I enjoyed it. As I got older, wasn't my thing to do anymore. But when you're tagging on churches, a lot of ethnicities, some families I see just really embrace their kids and others just totally block them.
Yes. Oh, 100%.
I was dating, back in 2012, this 18-year-old boy, tall, good looking kid, having a lot of fun. And had some family that was coming into town. And his mother and father told him, you have 2 choices. You need to act straight and stay here or get out for the weekend. Because they just were so embarrassed by him.
Yeah, they cared more about their appearances to other people.
And he was in college. He was, going to Fresno City, I think, and doing well and playing sports and respectful, polite. He wasn't a partier. I never bought him alcohol or anything like that.
Yeah.
But it's how they figure. And other families, like I said, just totally embrace them and others block.
Well, and that's why I wanted to bring that up too, because I feel like a lot of people, like in the world that I was raised in, I'm blessed enough too that my family's very accepting, and everyone was so accepting of my uncle and who he was as a person and all of that. But so many families that are raised in the religious culture are not that way. And in the Bible, it says you're supposed to love everybody, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And so,
but at the same time, they get to pick and choose who everybody is.
Exactly.
And it's not like, I feel like it's more like, oh, that person is in sin, so we feel sorry for them. We want to help them out of sin.
Pray the gay away type of thing.
Yes.
And I just think
100%.
that is so tragic and so wrong. And I think that that's why Pride Month is important. Like, there are so many people that are like, why do gays get a month when, Memorial Day's a day, or type of thing. Like, I've heard things like that. And I do think that the people that served our country should get recognition all the time. You know what I mean? That's not to say that that's wrong, but like, I think Pride Month is important because people that have struggled with their sexuality or like been bullied or, taken their lives because they have felt so out of place because their families or friends or whoever was not accepting of them. It just doesn't make sense to me. I think it's tragic.
People don't realize that words can do a lot of damage. I also think sometimes geographically where you are, where you're born, where you're raised has a lot to say how you react to it.
Yeah.
I knew somebody who didn't come out until he was 40, got married, had a kid. As soon as his daughter turned 18, boom, he was out.
Yeah.
Because he was so worried about his job and what everybody thought and his family and friends.
And that's devastating.
Yeah. I had a friend that had a big crush on, super sweet guy. And he knew I liked him, but most all my best friends are straight guys.
Yeah.
And he told me we were hanging out at his house one night, just the two of us. And he kind of opened up and said, I do like you.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but unfortunately, I can't go where you want me to because of his job, because of his father, his brothers. They would just not be able to cope with it at all.
Yeah. Yeah. And I can't imagine living your whole life, majority of your life, pretending to be somebody that you're not.
That's like the hardest. That's like the hardest thing in that, in those situations. And I think that a lot of the times, even non-gay straight people have things that they like want to hide like so much that it changes who they are, and then they just suffer and there's turmoil, and then they lash out or they do bad things or drugs or alcohol, and
to cope.
That's 100%. People just find like a way to cope instead of just being unapologetically you. Like I respect that way more, even if I don't like you. If you are I am a girl that has a hard time finding girlfriends. Mm-hmm. I always find the gay boy at work. That's my best friend. That's my go-to.
Yeah.
Gotcha, boo. Because I told Jimmy this today. I am classy, fabulous, and a little ghetto. I am a little too ghetto for the bougie girls, and I'm a little too bougie for the ghetto girls. So the great thing about like the gay community is you can be super bougie in studded high heels, glitz from head to toe, and they could be like, that bitch over there, so they still have like their ghetto and their classy all mixed into one. So that's where I think that's where I fit in. That's where I fit in.
Well, it goes back to being accepting, in such a world full of people that are so loving and accepting.
Because they deal with those kinds of things. And so I think that once you find like a good community and like you're good to go, and you start to feel comfortable, I think it makes you more accepting of other people.
Yeah.
All right. So we have to wrap up. I want to do a rapid fire segment.
Okay.
We're just going to call it Classy, Sassy, and Fabulous.
Oh, there you go.
All right. Speedos, are they a crime or a fashion?
Fashion.
Okay. Cher or Madonna?
Madonna.
Favorite gay movie or TV show?
Ooh, on a clear day, you can see forever. Gay movie.
That's a movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Heels or house slippers?
Heels.
Feather boa or leather jacket?
Feather boa.
Studs or glitter?
Studs.
Oh, he's feather boa and studs. That's interesting.
I don't want that glitter shit all over me.
That's fair. That's fair. It takes forever to come off.
Okay. Who is the top gay icon of all time?
Ooh, good gravy.
Did you have an icon, like somebody that you looked up to or just like really loved or connected with?
Madonna was like my big influence.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about celebrity crush?
I think Shawn Michael Scott.
Who is that?
From Road Trip.
Do you know who that is?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm horrible with pop culture. Did you have a female crush?
No, I don't think
no.
so.
Mm-hmm.
Madonna.
Fair.
Jimmy would say Jessica Rabbit.
Oh, okay.
But he says that I was going to say Rabbit.
Yeah.
Oh, that doesn't not make sense to me. Yeah.
Okay, so since we talked about coming out, rip off the Band-Aid or take your time?
Rip it off.
I agree.
Me too.
Are you a dance floor diva or a wallflower?
I'm a wallflower.
Really? Yeah. You're not a dance floor diva?
No.
Wow. Okay. What was your go-to drink order?
Ooh, Long Island iced tea.
Okay.
No tequila, more vodka than gin. Squeeze the lemon in, put it in a flash blender, boom, boom, turn it off, hit it up.
Oh my God. Is that what you would tell when somebody wanted to? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's like a Starbucks order.
I know.
I was way ahead of my time.
He's all, I know you don't know this right now, but that is going to be very popular. Dating apps, are they a nightmare or a success story?
Nightmare.
I agree. Yeah. So best, this is the last one. Best pickup line you have ever heard or used.
Well, my best pickup line at the end of the night was, pick me. I swear, I would get the end of the night, 1:30, they'd say, last call.
Mhm.
And I'd walk to the middle of the dance floor because nobody's out there. Pick me. I just wave my hand up.
How often did that work for you?
Quite a bit.
Yeah. Like I'd
Work on me.
Yeah.
I like that. Mhm.
All right. Well, I think that wraps it up. I don't have
think
anything
so.
else. All right. So you want to kick us off?
Well, thank you for watching. This is Classy
Sassy.
and Fabulous.
Yeah.
Zing.
Very special episode. Thank you so much for coming, Auntie Charles. I heard so many good
thank you
things
so
love
much
it.
about
for the
you.
invitation.
Yeah.
It was really a pleasure and very exciting.
Yeah.
I was really nervous at
cute.
first.
Oh no, it's no pressure.
Yeah, it was amazing. Thank you
I'm
again.
so glad. All right. Be bold.
Be brave. Oh, that's what. Hello, I meant that's what you wanted me to do.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But you said be brave.
Oh my God.
You have
Okay.
to finish it now.
Be brave and have a little shave. honey.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hi, I'm Colleen.
And we're Jess and Peggy.
And if you're still here, we really, really appreciate you watching us. And if we made you laugh, cry, or if you could relate to any of these stories, please give this a like, share, follow, tell your friends. It's free and it's a great way to support us. And we totally appreciate you. Until the next episode.
Love, 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 love,
Bye.
love, love.